They had added another drop to the load, and which was going to Brooklyn, New York, and I was terrified. I was just terrified. Good morning, Pat Smith. Well, you know, as we've stated over the last day or two, as you guys have been here, you know, as a co-owner, we all wear multiple different hats here. My love of this is the operations side. So, by default, I'm operations manager, which is going to consist of making sure that we've got loads booked for all the trucks that we have available, making sure that you know, by the end of the day that all trucks, all loads are covered. If we've got loads here without drivers assigned to them, I don't go home until that's done, which can be challenging some days. A lot of different obstacles that we you know, we're faced with every day, between drivers getting sick and just loads, you know, maintenance issues, you know, trucks that are breaking down that we've got to do a lot of rescheduling. So yeah, it's a challenge, but it's something I enjoy doing. Yeah, I really like I say, you know, we're all truck drivers at heart here. We've all driven. It's something that is just kind of in our blood. You know, our father was a truck driver when I was growing up, and so I do like to get out when I get a chance. You know, as we've gotten bigger over the years, you know, the opportunity for me to get away from the office has really fell to the wayside. But one of my other hats that I wear here is involved in speccing out the equipment, tractors and trailers, and it was always my goal to take one of the first trips. You know, if we got a group of 30 new trucks coming in for the year, when we get the first one, I always like to take it out and take a trip to California and just make sure that everything that we spec'd on the trucks was working out, you know, as we were hoping, you know, for different changes that we may have made, just to make sure it was the right change. And like I say, just the love of the open road and, you know, going for a drive. It's kind of what really makes this job fun. Is, you know, I just really enjoy being a part of what we do every day. And, you know, and that's, you know, we're putting miles on going down the road. And, like I say, I enjoy doing that. Just don't get the chance to do it much anymore. You know, there is one that comes to mind. So as I started off as a driver, I started off running loads between here and Minneapolis, and then as I got a little bit more experience, then I started running loads between here and Chicago. And so then at that point, when I was driving, all we did was run a lot of East Coast, out to New Jersey, Massachusetts, New York City. And I left with my first load going out to Philadelphia. And when I left, it was kind of an awkward situation. I grabbed the bills, and the bills, you know, said it only had 36,000 in the trailer, which normally we're hauling about 42 to 43,000. And I didn't realize it until I got over into Wisconsin, but they had added another drop to the load, and which was going to Brooklyn, New York. And I was terrified. I was just terrified. And I called in and I asked if there was someone that I could swap this load with. And at that time, it was my father and my uncle were dispatching. And the reply was, no, you're going to stay on it. So my first trip east to Chicago ended up in Brooklyn, New York, and that was quite a learning experience for me. So then after that, shortly after that, they knew that I could run New York City, so I started running New York City every week. So going into Hunts Point Market, and you know, for a young guy from Minnesota, I tell you what, that was after I got over being scared, it was really interesting to see the different cultures, and it was just an eye-opener for me. So had a lot of fun doing it.